Just asking. Let's go. How you doing? How you doing, man? Welcome to another episode. I put you on game. I got a special guest with me, man. This guy, this my brother, man. One of my main friends I met from the airport. Always been a good-hearted brother. You know what I'm saying? This boy, I mean, he got low patience though, man. He gonna tell you something one time, and he gonna tell you no more. That's it. He gonna explain it to you good, but that's it. It's how you get on him. But the main thing is a good-hearted person, man. My brother, I'm happy to call him one of my brothers, man. I love you, man. My boy Jeron, man. What's up with you, man?
What's going on, man?
What's going on with you, man? How you been?
Shit, I've been good. How about you, boy?
Yeah, shit, man. I just been life, just chilling, man, working, just trying to maintain shit. That's all though.
I feel you.
But shit, man, tell the audience where you from though, man.
Shit, I'm from here in Atlanta, Georgia. Straight up Atlanta, Georgia. Ain't no, oh, if you from Decatur and all this. Nah, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Yeah, born and raised.
Okay. Born and raised. How many siblings you got?
2 older sisters.
Oh, 2 older sisters. Okay, so you the baby then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, what kind of schools you went to? Elementary school you went to? Middle school you went to? Like, yeah, tell us everything about your background. We want to know about you, man.
Oof. Like, so I went to about 3 different elementary schools.
Okay.
Damn. Yeah. See, started out at Fickett.
Okay.
That was kindergarten and 1st grade.
All right.
Then I went to Deerwood Academy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to remember because I was like, been too many years.
Right.
That was 2nd and 3rd grade.
Right.
Then 4th grade with Stonewall Tail.
Right. Oh, Stonewall myself.
Yeah. Nah. I can tell you what Fickett is.
Yeah, I'm Fickett.
But Stonewall Tail and Deerwood,
yeah.
I could not write you a map with it. As far as middle school, it was 2 different middle schools.
Right.
The 6th grade, I went to Sandtown.
Okay.
Because that was my sister was going at the time. But the moment she graduated, I had to go to a different middle school.
Right.
And that's when I went to Camp Creek.
Right.
That was where I finished up middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Met some good people though.
Yeah.
So it was a fun school.
Okay.
And then of course high school, 2 different ones.
Mm-hmm.
Never went through a whole school straight through.
Right.
It was always move to another school, because I moved around a lot.
Right.
Well, not much, but districts kept changing up, so
right.
Had to move.
See, that was like that too. I had to move. I think in elementary school, I went to factory shows. I started out because me and my mom, we was living with my grandma in Douglasville. So I went to factory shows from like kindergarten, I want to say to like 4th grade. Then I moved from factory shows. Then I went to, what's going to? Was it Riverside? I think it was Riverside, Riverdale, River something. It was over there in Austin. I went there. Then left. I finished 4th grade there. Then I went to 5th grade. I went to New Manchester. A little bit part of New Manchester, and I finished out in Continental Colony. That's why I graduated Continental Colony. Mm-hmm. And from Continental Colony, from middle school. That's when it was stable. Then went Bunch. Then Mays, graduated from Mays.
Oh, yeah.
So I moved around too. So it was like that too. You said what?
I said I forgot you did go to Bunch.
Yep.
My older sister, she went to Bunch.
But she did.
All 3 years.
Yeah, I went to
Bunch. I think I only been to that school like maybe once or twice or something.
Yeah.
It was a nice school though.
Yeah.
It was on what?
Yeah, Bunch was cool, man. You know, that's why Bunch was a really good school. Had some good people there, man. It was just fun, you know, a little popular up there and shit. It was straight, that was cool. But yeah, so I can definitely relate to, you know, moving around and et cetera, and all that. But going to your 2 high schools, man, what kind of lessons you learned going there?
Ooh. I mean, it was a lot different because for both of those high schools, they was up there in North Fulton, so I was used to being around a bunch of black people, probably a couple of Latinos here and there.
Right.
But when I went up to North Fulton, I went to Chattahoochee at first. Mm-hmm. And they had white people, the Asian people, all of them up there. Right. And I met some good people up there. Right. You know, had my fun up there. Mm-hmm. And wasn't that much to my freshman year because it was kind of like knowing more people, people from both down here and up there, because it was like a little program going on. Right. So they was helping us because I think South Fulton didn't do something. So we was able to go up to North Fulton. I refused. I wasn't going to Banneker.
Wow, what's wrong with Banneker?
Yeah, Banneker just wild. So yeah, I had fun up there. And then let's see, 10th through 12th grade. That was when I went to Northview High School. And like I said again, a bunch of white people, Asian people, Indians, all of them.
So at least it taught you diversity though. So how did you fit in with those people?
I mean, it was easy for me to fit in because, I don't know, I'm quiet, but you know, people like to approach me, so of course I can make friends easy. Right. So I let's see, 9th grade, I was mainly friends with a lot of Asians. Right. Yeah, a lot of them. And then let's see, 10th through 12th grade, it was all over the place. I was pretty much cool with everybody up there. Yeah. Like, they was all cool with me. I ain't had no issues with nobody. Right. Cause it was like, I ain't really pressed nobody or nothing. Right. But yeah, it definitely was a extreme diversity up there. And I liked it. Cause I was just like, it helps you understand different cultures a lot more when you're around a bunch of different people. If you just around one group all the time, then you ain't gonna learn nothing. That's true. So do you feel like it's important for us to be around, to go to schools with more diversity, or do you like how the whole black school and white school kind of sort of, while you're playing, still kind of feel like it's segregation in a sense, because you know you go to certain counties are more white counties, certain counties are more black counties. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, Georgia, you know, like we said, Mays, Banneker, all them schools are Atlanta-based schools. I mean, a lot of based schools and they black. Black. So, do you feel like there should be more diversity? Yeah, it should. Because you get to learn more. Right. You can never know what that person got going on because you ain't never talked to them before. Then you finally talk to them, like, oh dog, you pretty much like me to a certain extent. Right. It's just we got different skin color. We came from a different country or whatever. Right. But nah, you get to have you have more diversity. People will understand each other more. So, okay, now we're done with high school. Let's get to college. Did you go to college? Yeah, I went to college. I went for 2 years. Okay. What college you went to? I went to Clayton State. Clayton State. Yes, sir. Clayton State. So you stayed on the south side then? Yeah. Oh, okay. How was Clayton State? How was your experiences up there? It was good. It was really good. I ain't had college. I went in right after high school. I say it. That kind of probably messed me up a little bit, going straight in. But it was fun to go. I ain't gonna lie, I messed up in college because I wasn't really in the mindset of continuing on with school right after high school. But so you realized that when you went to college, that's what you're saying? Yeah. That's interesting. That's very, so what did you go to school for though? I went to school for computer science. Computer science. So you're really good at computers then? Okay. So you say you messed up because that happened to me too. Like when I went, like I said, when I went to school for 2 years, East Georgia State. When I went to school, bro, it was like, you know, it was cool. Like I went straight in too. Right. I didn't take no, bro. I went straight in, but you know, I was excited. You know, I got up here as excited. Like I said, you know, I felt kind of forced into it because, you know, I had, you know, family members saying, let's go to school, you know. Right. They're like, school is the only way to succeed, you know. That's the only way you can compete with the white man. When you compete with the white man, you go to school. Right. So that was the thing that was stuck in my head growing up. Right. So when I got up, you know, went there, and you start talking to different people, you start hearing professors talk, and you start realizing, like, damn, you know, and you start being more observant. When you're young, I would say that when you're young, there's certain shit you don't understand until you get older. Right. So when you get older, you start seeing shit a lot differently. You know what I'm saying? You talk to different people, and you get to hearing shit. You're like, hold on, all the richest people in the world don't have a college degree. Why is that? The smartest people that were smart in high school probably working at McDonald's. Ain't really doing much if you look at the statistics. Right. You see what I'm saying? But that's the thing that they don't teach you.
Though I tell you, sometimes you have to go through that and you gotta learn that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So as me growing up and me seeing that, like, damn, you know, all these people in the world, everybody that inspired me, that I look up to, you know what I'm saying, didn't get a college degree.
Right.
Or
didn't even finish high school or middle school.
Exactly. But to me, it's important to finish. You can at least finish high school. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to college, but you can at least finish high school at least. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum.
But you know, some they just
But if you gifted, I mean, if you a rapper or something, you know, you rapper or you gifted like that, you might not have to go to school. But to me, I feel like you could at least finish high school at least. You gotta go to college when you're 18. You gotta go to college, but at least finish high school.
Because school helps give you that social ability.
Yeah.
Like, cause you don't want to go around not being able to hold a 2-minute conversation with somebody.
Yep.
So school is definitely there to help people build social skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, social skills, and it's what you learn too, and it's a business.
Right.
It's a real big business, man. And I know I get on here and talk about school a lot because I really want my audience to really pay attention to this, because I don't want y'all to feel forced and y'all parents, what they was taught, they're forced, since they didn't go, they forced it on their kids, and I don't want y'all to feel forced. I want y'all, if y'all path is a necessity, going to college to get that degree, then do it. But I want you to understand that fuck the stigma around it. It's not there. Like, you go to school and make $1 million. No.
Right.
You're not going to do that. Please do not think that's what school is. It's not.
Nope.
Please understand that. And that's the thing that I really want to make sure I continue repeat myself of, because that is very important. You will go to school and you be in debt and be working at a regular ass job.
Right. And I can tell you right now, all them high-end jobs, they could care less for that degree.
For real.
They say they want you to have a degree, but they can really care less for it.
But put it like this, Jeron, you would care less for it if you was a business owner. Think about this. You got two people that's certified. One person's certified but never been on the field. This person is certified but been on the field for 2 or 3 years. Who you gonna pick?
I gotta choose a person with 2 or 3 years of experience.
Because more so than somebody, he may know what to do.
Right.
He may know, you know what I'm saying, know everything to do, but he's never been on the field.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Experience is the greatest teacher. You're gonna choose somebody that's experienced, because guess what? This person probably only know how to go by protocol.
Exactly.
But sometimes, so you don't know how to improvise when some shit happen.
Right.
But a person with experience that's on the field, he know how to improvise. Right. I'm pretty sure throughout that year or two, that he had, some red flags, some bad situations.
Experiences.
Yeah, so you're gonna choose a person that's experienced. But like I said, this is shit they don't teach you. They don't tell us this, man. They don't tell us. They want us to go here and get fucking debt, bro. That's what they want. They want us to keep going here thinking we need this. Hey, like I said, if you're trying to be a nurse, engineering, and all this other stuff, then hey, it's for you. Go ahead. I encourage you, but please don't go there and be lost as fuck. Cause that's what I was. Don't go there and be lost. Know what you want out of this, and make sure you're getting the best experience out of this. Right. And that's just my thing on that. But yeah, man. So what is one of the biggest misconceptions of you, man?
People would think I'm like extremely serious all the time, but nah, I'm not. I joke with you. I be sarcastic as hell.
It just
people don't think that sarcastic. I'm serious when I do some sarcastic shit, but I'm like, nah, I'm just sarcasm. You gotta understand that.
Because you have no remarks like on your face. Your face is always like just plain serious. Like just have a plain face. So it's like when you say it sounds like you dead ass serious. You just like you dead ass like that nigga dead serious, but you really playing. You see what I'm saying? Right. But it's like the remarks on your face that it's like, oh shit, you nigga playing. So you feel like people think you just serious all the time. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And then also, yeah. And I always say, you have one of those personalities, Jeron, where it's like you kind of quiet, you kind of laid back, quiet and shit. But it's like you will talk to a nigga, somebody talk to you. You don't have like that openly personality type shit. You know what I'm saying? You kind of quiet, and that's the thing that I think that is like kind of messes you up a little bit when it comes to people, especially women, because it's like you be so like kind of laid back and they think you don't have no personality. That's what it is. They judge a book by its cover. There we go.
True.
I'm trying to say with you because they don't know you're a cool ass nigga and they look at you like, oh man, this nigga, you know, he don't have no personality and he don't have this and he don't have that. They just think that you know, you just don't do shit. I mean, you just, you know, just born. You're born. That's what it is, man. So
sometimes you be getting asked like straightforward, simple questions. It's just like you don't get no conversation out of that. You get like a couple words here and there, and then you be like, well, ask me something broad. Give me something like that's interesting, and then you can hear what I gotta say.
Right.
But if you just ask me simple, straightforward questions, you ain't gonna get really much out of that.
Right. That is true. But I'm saying, were you always like that, or were you just this just something you just inhabited as you got older?
Nah, I've always been quiet. Mainly because it was like I said earlier, I ain't never stuck nowhere. So I was always constantly moving around, like school. I'm 2 years in.
Right.
Up, switch to another school. 1 year in. Up, switch to another school. Like I can't keep social because I'm always in the mindset of like, oh well, I'm gonna be here in like another year, 2 years or so, and then that's the end of it. Like it's just how it is. So it's just like, of course, as time went on, like yeah, I had a whole conversations with people, but it's like I wouldn't be fully invested at times because I'm just in the mindset of like, well, it was good talking to that person, but I'm gonna be going in like a year or two. So it's just like, luckily I met people who stuck around for a while. Like I got y'all, and then I got like probably like 2-3 other friends who I've been friends with for probably years. I got like one I've known since 8th grade, my twin, and then of course I got my friend from high school, Corey. He been, let's see, both of them been about friends since I've been friends with both of them since about over a decade. Well, yeah, like I said, it's just when you constantly moving around, trying to stay around people all the time, it's gonna be hard. Because it's like that mindset of like, well, gonna move.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So basically you saying that you kind of was a little bit standoffish because you never felt comfortable.
Right.
That's a little deeper, guy. A little standoffish because you always knew in the back of your head that you was always gonna move somewhere else. So you never really tried to make friends like that because you knew that if you made friends, you finna get ready to move.
Exactly.
And then that's gonna be the end of that relationship because you're young, ain't like y'all can hang out and stuff like that. You might, and don't tell me where you're moving to.
Right, and of course, like back to between first through, I want to say at least 6th grade, I ain't have a phone. You had to call. I had to call somebody through the house phone or something in order to keep in contact with them.
Right.
And shoot, if you moving, your phone number, your house phone number could change. And so I didn't get a cell phone until 7th grade. And even then, it was still like, I'm gonna move again. I may have your number, but when you in school, it's just like, if you ain't gonna see them or you ain't gonna hang out with them outside of school, is the friendship really there? Right. So that's what you gotta think about too.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, you should rise high school, hold people together for real.
Right.
And I'm saying with you, man, when I got out of high school, it's like my whole mindset changed. Me coming to the airport, I think we had this conversation before many times, like, you know, coming out of school, man, it was like I had to change my mindset. Like I used to only hang with people that was on the same shit I was on. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to play in sports, you want on the girls, or you had to have a certain stigma about yourself to where I don't want to be around you. But coming to the airport and meeting you, Jeron, Kaya, and Alex, and who else? Zay, my boy CJ. I met like a whole different group of people. You know, Alex, CJ, that's more my type of people. Zay is too, more my type of people that I kick with. But you, Jeron, and Kaya, y'all were like three different people. Y'all were the people that like were different. Y'all were different from me. So it was a challenge for me because sometimes when I be around y'all, especially early on when I got around y'all, it was more so like I felt like I was the odd man out. I felt like I was the odd man out because y'all some weird ass niggas, weird ass motherfuckers. And I'm coming around y'all and it's like, damn, you know, I feel like I'm the odd man out because I'm this way and the rest of y'all kind of this way. You see what I'm saying? So I had to really change my mindset, but I had to realize that it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying, what you like and what your personality is. It really matters what kind of heart you got. You know what I'm saying? Right. Sherrod, you know, me and Sherrod are really totally two different people, but Sherrod got a good heart. You know what I'm saying? He got a good heart, homeboy. He got a real good heart, and I know that if I need him to do something, he'll do it. He's supportive. So I started looking at the things that really matter. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what changed me. I started looking at the things that really matter in friend. Because all the other niggas that was like me fucked me over. You know what I'm saying? Joined me and treat me like I wasn't shit in a sense. You know, we was all cool, but you know what I'm saying? They just weren't real niggas to me. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So again with y'all, find a group of friends that I could be vulnerable with and really talk to is what's up. You know what I'm saying? So I had to change my mentality being around you. You know, I got y'all different personalities and shit. But we all click though, like a little click. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like if you can find that one thing that y'all got in common, you can definitely connect with multiple people.
Yeah.
But it's just like if you can't find like a single common ground, then it's just like, shoot, what am I even talking to this person for?
But see, man, you click off the rip. Man, you kind of click off the rip because it was like, man, you kind of got, a lot of times, we kind of got the same views on a lot of shit. Like, you can understand and relate to me more than I say the other two can, in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it was more so like, they're my boy, Jeron, my boy, man. We talk all the time, but you kind of get where I'm coming from, you get what I'm saying? And we kind of look at life similar, very similar. You see what I'm saying? While the other ones, you know, one of the friends, that nigga ain't black at all. He want to be white, you know what I'm saying? And we already know about Kanye and shit like that. But that's how it was, you know, coming to the airport, man, and meeting y'all. That was like something great for me because that completely changed my mindset, meeting y'all, man. And I met a group of friends that will last forever, you know, with Alice and CJ and Zay, all these group of people I met, like a family of brothers that I know will always be there. And I always have my back, so that's important.
Right.
But I feel so. We're gonna get into, man. I did this video. I've been talking about it a few times on my other episodes, but this time I really want to get into it. What I really want to get into, but did a video on criticism, man. That I did a while back on my Instagram page. You know, so you want to tell me your thoughts on that?
Shit, it's been so long since I listened to a bitch. Let's see. Overall, I think it was like people can't handle criticism because they'll think you judging them or something like that. And it's just like, no, I'm just trying to help you out because it's like you say you doing this, and it's just like I'm just trying to tell you that it ain't right. Like I can understand your mindset, but it ain't right to me.
Right.
And I'm not judging you for it. I'm just giving you my opinion about it.
Right.
And people be like, oh no, you attacking me. You trying to talk down on me or something like that. And it's just like, no, I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to let you see a different light.
Right.
So it's just like, don't automatically assume I'm trying to talk down on you just because I gave you my opinion. That's just an opinion. It ain't like I'm trying to talk shit.
Exactly.
Especially if I'm cool with you.
Right.
Like I'm coming to you as a friend at that point. I'm trying to help you out because you can end up getting fucked over thinking that way. So, yeah, that's how I see it.
But see, you know, my biggest thing is understand who it comes from, right? Everybody's intentions are different, you know, and know somebody's intentions, like you let's say you, other people, my friend group around me, I know y'all intentions are pure. Y'all heart is pure. So understand that's number one for me, first thing. Understand somebody's intentions. And number two, like understand constructive criticism. That's the thing. If somebody give you something specific about something, like, okay, you can do this, right? You know, do this, okay, my podcast, right? I'm doing a podcast, right? Somebody coming to me and say, hey man, I like your podcast. But I feel like at the beginning, you can add this and add that, or sometime in the middle you can do this. Right. Or I feel like your podcast may be too long, or et cetera, et cetera. Or I feel like the setup can be this, because you're giving me something specific. You know what I'm saying? You're not just saying that, oh, the whole shit lame, or fuck your shit lame, boy, fuck your shit, you know? You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't just saying that, like you coming to me with specifics, and then you come to me about a situation. But like somebody told me, if a person used to being hated on all the time, how do you know when it's criticism? How do you know?
True.
They being hated all the time. How do you know when it's constructive criticism when everybody around them always hate on them? So they have to get out their mindset. For me, my answer to that question that my boy asked me is, it's the way you approach somebody. I always tell some people, it's the way you talk to people. Right. You can get your mission across to people, but it's the way you do it. You don't have to go by. I tell my mom this all the time. Like, I was trying to talk. My mom's one of those people that, oh, I've been on this earth longer than you, so you can't tell me. You can't teach me nothing. Right. You know what I'm saying? One of them type of people, you can't tell me, no, I've been this world longer than you, and all this stuff, etc. Right. And it'd be such an ignorant response. But what I'm trying to tell her is that you can't yelling, cursing, and demanding people. You can't always do that.
No.
Ain't nobody think you gonna respond to that shit, bro. Hell no. Nobody finna respond to that shit. You not finna respond to that. That make you want to do the opposite. Jeron, if I'm getting Jeron, you a bitch ass nigga, man. Fuck your whole ass. You know what I'm saying? If I'm getting at you, Jeron, and trying to get you to come pick me up, do you think you finna come pick me up?
Fuck no.
After I just said all that?
No, this nigga wild, man.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's a way, but it's a way, even if I'm upset, it's a way to get my point across. I can be like, hey, Jeron, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I called you, we had a set schedule, and you didn't show up. What was going on, man? I don't appreciate that. You tell me your reason. Right. And even if I don't like your reason, I can say, bro, I don't like your reason, but we can respectfully disagree with each other.
Right.
But you honestly, but I still got my point across. I still told you how I felt. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? It's the way you talk to people. You will still get your point across to a motherfucker, but it's all about how you come at that person.
The delivery of it.
It's delivery of that matters so much, because that's the response you're gonna get. If you come at somebody soft and calm, they're gonna respond soft and calm.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's just the biggest thing for me. What I, learn about just learning, criticism and hate. It's like, bro, understand that. But like I said, everybody ain't gonna always say something positive about your shit. Right. That's just the reality of it. It's just not gonna happen that way, man. We gotta get out our heads, bro. As young, especially young, it's really young niggas, bro. Young niggas gotta get their head that, bro. Can't nobody tell you something. Can't nobody, your pride too big, your ego too big. Stop being like that, bro. Stop, bro. We are not perfect. We are human, bro. We all done things wrong, and we continue to do things wrong. How the fuck you gonna get better, but if you think you just perfect?
Right. You
gotta get out your comfort zone. That's the problem, Jeron. We wanna be so comfortable. We wanna be stuck in one zone, like, I'm stuck here, I wanna be here, I wanna be here. Like, that's how we wanna be. Like, no, nigga, you gotta stay, you gotta get out your comfort zone, bro. That's the problem. We wanna be comfortable, but it's that's the thing. When you're comfortable, you're not growing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can see potential in this person, and this person just need a few tweaks to it, right? And if I do that, hey, that person will grow.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's just my thing with criticism, man. But if you want to add a few remarks to that, you go ahead, man.
Shoot. I can understand that because, like, what happened earlier at work.
Right.
I had somebody, we was doing a briefing, and the foreman and supervisors was getting on one of my coworkers, asking a bunch of questions and all this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of, in a way, it looked like they were attacking her, like they was just picking on her and shit like that. And I was just like, what the fuck they picking on her for?
Mm-hmm.
And after the briefing and shit, one of the supervisors had came over, was just like, look, when they ain't, they being hard on you because they see potential in you and whatnot.
Right.
And in my head, I was thinking, like, I can understand the intention of it,
right?
But their delivery was not in the best spot. Like, it could have been a little bit better,
right?
Because it looked like they were just picking on them. And anybody would have thought that.
Right.
It took another supervisor who wasn't even saying anything to her to come up to her and be like, oh, they was doing that because they see potential in you. Even she was just like, they got a weird way of showing it. So it's just like, you gotta definitely show better ways of delivery when it comes to critiquing somebody or trying to like bring out the potential that you see in it. Mm-hmm. Because if you deliver it wrong, you're gonna get
a wrong response.
Terrible results.
That's true.
And if you don't want that, you gotta definitely work on it better.
That's true. Like I remember this time. We sitting up. I think we was at the airport. We was in the B food court, right? Me, you, Kanye, and Shalai. We were in the B food court, right? Cause I think the message we were trying to get across, man, was like I always tell people there's a difference between venting and talking shit about someone, right? And I feel like when after our friends broke up, one of our friends was talking shit about the other one. Let's be real. Yeah. She was talking shit about the other one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when that whole shit came down, we was in B food court or whatnot, and I was telling her, and we were talking, and I was like, hey, I was talking to her, and I was like, hey, man, next time, when there's an issue, when there's a problem, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you gotta learn the difference how to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you be disrespecting somebody's character. You know what I'm saying? Don't disrespect his character.
Right, because I can understand you mad.
Yeah.
But definitely, like, don't talk shit the way you always talk shit.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, Kaya, you gotta learn how to, like, how to vent. You know what I'm saying? Just because you be so angry, don't just go, talking up the side of your neck about this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
At the end of the day, you still definitely love this mother.
Right.
So don't talk shit like this man ain't did nothing for you.
Exactly, and that's all I was saying then. But then another situation that happened where she felt attacked. And she felt this. Because I think you had came in because you was like I was talking, but you was like Jeron, you got me. You know what, bro? Jeron, D. He said D. I never. You said D. Go ahead and break the shit down to a play by play because I'm getting annoyed.
Man,
with this shit.
It take a lot to annoy me, but I was just sitting there like, man.
Because everybody understood what I was saying. You did, Jeron did, everybody understood what I said. But you like, bro, go ahead and break the shit play by play, man, because I'm getting tired.
I was sitting there like, this conversation been going on for way too long.
Yeah, because it was really a simple conversation. Yeah, we were talking like real simple. But remember, I think after that, she had felt that I was attacking her at the time because we were all in a group. But I felt like, I'm not attacking you because this is the group. This is we all talk about things. Yeah, this ain't like what a bunch of other people just sitting around here. I'm trying.
Like if we ain't gonna criticize you, who will?
Exactly. And then even if it was just being me and you, that conversation y'all already know about it. We would have told y'all about the conversation. Right. So why not y'all just be here when we had a conversation? You know what I'm saying? So, but everybody understood what I was saying, but for her, so that's the thing. But she felt attacked. But all thing I was trying to do was critique and help her. You see, at that time, and everybody knew that.
Right.
But she still took it as an attack because people feel like you attacking them when you bring up their flaws. But I wasn't bringing up our flaws. I was trying to tell her because everybody not Sherrod.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? If you do this to anybody else, nigga, they'll cut your ass off.
Right.
Everybody ain't gonna be, we good. We come by y'all, hell no.
Cut you out.
For real. You do it to another nigga, hell no. He ain't gonna want to be cool with your ass. He gonna want to go the separate ways. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna be sitting there like, what's wrong with her?
Exactly.
Like, nah, we ain't about to have that. I'm out.
Yep.
Like, you on your own, just be easy.
Exactly.
Be easy wherever you gonna go.
Exactly. So that's what I was trying to get across that day. But like I said, man, just understand people's intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like my intentions, but sometimes I may not always come off the right way, and I understand and I get that. But please understand, my heart is always in the right place. But my heart is always in the right place when I say something. Excuse me, it's out of the place of love because I love you dearly, and I want to see y'all win, bro. I want to see us get better. Right. So I want people to give me that same respect. Like, hey, D, man, you know what I'm saying? Do this, man. You did this, you ain't do that. You ain't doing this right. Or you made me feel some type of way about this. Come and talk to me, man. Like, if you my boy and I fuck with you, you my best friend. Come and talk to me, man. We can talk. We can have a conversation. Okay, so cool. I understand where you're coming from. Like, it's cool. I want people to give me that same love back because that's somebody that really care about you. If you got yes man around you, yes man don't give a fuck. They just want to be in your presence. They're scared to lose you. But somebody gonna sit there like, no, like it's gonna tell you the truth. That person really care about you. So that's my whole take on that shit though, man. But yeah, man. So I know you join the military, man. I know some people join the military because they feel like, you know, that's the only option. They feel like, okay, I didn't go to school, so the next point is the military. So what were you thinking? What was your reasons for wanting to join the military?
My reasons it was just something that I always felt like doing. Like it was something that always just was in me. It was just like, you know what? Let me do military for a little bit, see what it's like. Cause I know my dad and multiple other men in my family were also military.
Right.
But I was just like, that wasn't really like really a reason for me. I was just like, yeah, y'all did it. But at one point I was just like, I ain't gonna join the military. That ain't for me.
Right.
And then as years went on, then I was just like, you know what I want to do? Let's see what it's like. It was just an experience. I wanted to stick around I was probably gonna end up doing the full 20. But ended up messing up my leg, and of course I had to leave.
Right.
But I mean, it's a good thing. I feel like military it's not a bottom line. It's definitely not. You could go out here and just find work, cause it's just like, yeah, college ain't for you. You definitely don't want to do the military. Find something you're good at, and go from there. You ain't gotta immediately get into it, but find some work here and there that slowly builds you up into what you want to do. Like like military is definitely not something that everybody has to do just because they feel like they have nowhere else to go. Because you don't. You can find work. Like if you need to take a break, and if you living with at least your parents, take some time off. Like take a break from everything, step back for a second so you can catch your breath. Cause I can understand life is hard at times, but don't just automatically jump into something and be like, oh, and then be like, oh, this ain't it. Cause trust me, it's been multiple. Mainly what you hear is from Army people. They be like, oh no, this ain't it. And want to get out right after.
Right.
Like, I joined the Air Force, and I'll say this. The military gives people that idea of discipline, because as you see now out here in the world, people out here just wild. And the military helps give you that discipline to understand like things need to have a certain order to it. At least in your personal life, there has to be a sort of order to it.
Right.
But yeah, the military is definitely not something if you don't feel like it's something for you. Don't just join because you feel like I can't get anywhere else.
So let me talk to you about your mental capacity. You hurt your leg. Do you plan on going back?
As it currently sits, yes.
Okay.
I do plan on going back. Mental capacity wise, when it first happened, I was hurt. Beyond hurt. Like I did not. I thought it was all. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do much of anything anymore. Like running, walking around wise, because it was just like they put a rod in my leg. First month, I couldn't even walk. Like really, first 2 months, I couldn't walk at all. It wasn't until like maybe a week or so into November where I was finally able to like put my crutches down and start getting around at that point. Like it was tough for me. And then being in Med Hole was a terrible experience. I had met some good people in there.
For people that don't know, what's that?
Med hold is a spot that you go to when you injure yourself in basic. Or really, I don't know if they have it in any other spot in the military, but I know when you're in basic, they put you in med hold if you hurt yourself. And you sitting in there until you basically heal up and you can go back to training. And trust me, they want you back in training within like a couple weeks of getting into med hold, because they see it as they have already put a lot of money into you getting there. So they want you to be able. They want to get their money worth out of you, because they basically paid for your boarding, your food, clothes, everything. Like, they want to get their money's worth out of you, because they feel like they wasted money on somebody that they did all this for. Because they did a physical for you, they gave you all these shots and everything for you, and then you be like, I want to go home. And for me, I didn't want to go home, but my timeline was too thin. If I would have went back to training, I would have ended up re-injuring myself, because I was in my 5th week. So.
And they would pressure you to go back in the 5th week?
Yeah, they would have put me right back in the 5th week. They would have either put me in my 4th week or 5th week. But I had already completed those first 4 weeks. I was right at the beginning of the 5th week doing my PT test and then all my other tests. And then of course the week after that would have been Beast Week, where you go out to the field and you do all, and you're like out there for like 2-3 days, I think. It's really supposed to be a whole week. But because of COVID, it was like cut down to like a few days. But you're out there running around. The obstacle course was closed at one point, but I think they opened it up for my squadron when they were doing it. So, and also within like by November, I think it was fully opened up. So if I would have went back in November, I wouldn't have been able to do remotely half of the stuff. Yeah, they would have probably gave me a waiver, but they would have expected me to still be able to move around a lot. And I was limping heavily. Like there was no way of me to walk straight, really. I'll be limping everywhere I go. Like, I get up, I'm limping around, getting even to the bathroom hurt. And it wasn't even, but it wasn't far. I was like, it was in the building. I had to go down the hall a little bit and then all the way down to the end of the other hall once I make that turn. But still, doing that, it was just like, ooh, let me sit down for a little bit, because it hurts the move. Like, yeah, I'm doing better now, but at the time, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Even if they would have tried to send me back in December, I was still like a terrible time.
Yeah. So, man, my question is, what kind of advice can you give to people that go to the military, that gets hurt when they're close to graduating, right? Close to graduation, and suffer a major injury? Like, what kind of advice can you give to other people? Because I know this happens a lot for people, and how you was able to overcome that. And first of all, like I said, it all starts in the mental.
All right.
Because sometimes you're scared to make a movement, you're scared to do this because you're scared because you think about the injury. So for you to be able to overcome that and still, want to go back to the military to finish and do what you're supposed to do, that drive and that motivation is still there. What kind of advice can you give to other young people that's hoping to be like that, or that's trying to be where you at?
I mean, it all depends on what your reasons are for even coming to the military. You have to start with that first. Find out if your heart is even in the right place to like realize why you're even there in the military. Like, you injured yourself now, and now you have to understand your reasons for being there. Was it even something you wanted to do, or was it just a spur of the moment? If it was like a spur of the moment type move, don't waste your time. Get out, find you a job, because now that you have, because at the end of the day, you're a veteran now. The day that you start basic, they automatically treat you as a veteran. This is, of course, this is what the VA says. Your sergeants and everything will tell you, no, you have to complete your 180 days. No, that's not it. You are the veteran. The VA sees you as a veteran the moment you start basic. So now that you have military experience on your roster, find you a job. They'll look at you more now that they see that you have military experience, and but definitely know your reasons for going in. If you wanna if you have like decent reasons, like say it's like something like a goal in your head or something, a goal that you always wanted to set for yourself, don't give up on it. If like, cause even a sergeant asked me after I injured myself, is this something that I want to do? And yeah, I was broken at the time, mentally wise. But I definitely still said that I want to continue on. Like, and he was right. 6 months, I had to wait. 6 months is up, but I still got to get my body back right. And you gotta move accordingly. But if it's something you want to do, the moment you get home, let your injury heal. Continue doing the physical therapy that you did while you were in med hole, because for me, they was putting me through physical therapy on the base. Continue on with the physical therapy that you were doing there. You don't have somebody to supervise you anymore, but definitely keep up with it. That way your injury can heal a lot faster. You're able to get that blood flowing to wherever you ever messed yourself up at. And understand your body more. Definitely understand your body more. Because that's how I ended up messing myself up. I ignored the pain because I kept pushing through it, like the sergeant said. And that's how the injury happened. But know your body, know your limits. If you feel like you can make it a little bit more, definitely try, but don't overdo it, because you can end up making that injury recome. You have another injury happen, maybe in a different spot or maybe in the same spot, but you don't want that. But yeah, definitely keep up with it depending on what your mindset was at the time of you going in. If you want to do it, go home, train yourself up. Definitely find work, because they ain't gonna pay you. You gonna get that last paycheck, and that's it. You ain't getting nothing else for the military, because you ain't getting that unemployment. You can get some VA benefits if you hurt yourself, depending on how bad the injury was. But you ain't getting no kind of, they already say that in a paper that you get when you leave. You ain't getting no more government assistance.
Oh, really?
So definitely like find you some work, keep some money in your pocket, and then once you feel like you're ready to go back, once that time limit that they gave you was up, try to go back. Depending on how bad the injury is, you may need a waiver to get back in, because it's gonna appear in your record. Right. They check medical files and all that for you when you're talking to a recruiter. So you definitely gotta make sure you're able to do whatever you need to do. Like, because for me, at first I thought I would have needed a waiver. And they say that waiver is like slim to none to get. But they said for me, I don't have to worry about that. I'll probably have to do more tests and stuff during like the physical when I'm at MEPS, but other than that, I'm good to go. But definitely make sure you're good to go and stay up with your doctors to have like a medical file on hand, ready for them.
All right. Well, okay, man. I know you love video games. Love video games, man. I know you play every time I come home to your crib, man. You got video games playing on the computer, etc., etc. Why don't you try to, go and be a video game career? What's going on with that?
at one point, I mean, that was really my main reason for going to college, because I wanted to be a video game programmer. And I mean, when I was in college, it was hard here and there for the programming aspect. I didn't expect it. And that's why I was just like, I want to do something with video games, but programming, I'm not sure about right now. Maybe I want to do design, but I actually still want to do something with video games at some point in life. Like, I don't know what it'll be, but I definitely, like, I'm still trying to find out where I can find to do video game testing. Because I want to start there to see what it's like. Kind of get like the bare bones, like fresh off the board game. See, testing it, see what it's supposed to be like, understand the fundamentals of it all, and then go from there. But for the gaming industry, it's definitely a spot where you have to know somebody to game. Like, to a certain extent, it's that aspect of you have to know somebody to get in, to get even your foot in the door. But that's where you gotta know how to build your network. So if you know how to talk to people, it'll work out. But I'm definitely gonna try to get into the gaming field at some point.
Okay, man. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I've been thinking about this question for a minute. I honestly can't tell you where I see myself in 5 years.
Well, what do you hope to see yourself in the next 5 years then?
I mean, it's changed because after, like I said, being in the military and having to leave so abruptly, I was expecting to see myself in the military, like, at least a decent rank within 5 years. But now I'm not sure. Hopefully it's either back in the military or at least with a good job. Where I know I can sustain myself financially. Now, I don't see myself, hopefully, with somebody that probably not no kids. I don't know about kids because I'm still not in that.
Jeron running around this motherfucker.
Shit. No. I have to see it. It talks about I definitely want to be with somebody and at least either be back in the military or a good job and my own spot.
Okay. So to be with somebody, you gotta put yourself out there, man. Can't be scared. You mentioned him out. This question I really want to know, man. Why are you like just kind of so like, I want to say afraid to put yourself out there like that? Like, where does that come from? Like, are you scared of rejection? Like, what is it, my boy? Talk to
me. At first, it was rejection. Because this was like, you can have all the feelings in the world for this one person. But then the moment you ask them out, they hit you with a no. And depending on how you feel for that person, it can hurt you.
Absolutely.
So at first it was a rejection. But now it's more so like, I feel like being bothered with it. Because I'm seeing how all these other people dealing with their relationships and whatnot. And you see some good out of it, and then you see like the bad out of it, and you just like, nah, do I want to deal with something like that? And it's just like, it's par for the course. It definitely is. But it's just like, am I in the headspace to want to deal with it right now? And a part of me is, but also another part of me isn't. Because after that, like, for like the last, I want to say couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been in the right headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go through the motions. I can talk to people here and there, but I ain't really trying to deal with people like that right now. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to still settle my own problems.
Right.
Like, and do you feel like, and it's just like, do I feel like having somebody around when I'm still trying to get stuff, pick the pieces back up?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I said, it's both a yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Like a part of me can still go through it and still be a good person for that person.
Mm-hmm.
But also another part of me is I don't want to put them through that.
Mm-hmm.
Because who knows how I'll respond to something at some point.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. But I feel like, the whole point is, what I'm saying, every girl ain't gonna think you attractive. Every girl ain't gonna like you or whatnot or think this, etc. So you might not be able to get every girl, but I feel like the main thing is you can't be scared of rejection because, like I said, if girls think you cute, just like women. If a woman approach a dude, every nigga ain't gonna think you look good.
Right.
Everybody got their own preference to each his own. Beauty is in the hands of the beholder. So that's that's all I say. So I don't think somebody told me the worst thing a girl can say is no. She gonna tell you no, that's it. She ain't gonna cuss you out. If you try to talk to her, you do it, respectfully. And what she gonna tell you is no, I'm not interested. Got a boyfriend. And if you scared of that, then you really scared of a no. You probably the only nigga and the last nigga, definitely the first nigga. Right. So you know what I'm saying? So that's just been my biggest thing and my biggest motto, man. And I just be seeing, just wondering, man, like with you, I feel like, that's the thing too, like how you kind of like, how your personality, how you kind of, quiet and stuff like that. But sometimes I feel like you gotta get out your comfort zone a little bit and be, hey, what's up? What's going on with you? How you doing? Be willing to speak and get yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? Get up out of that sometimes, especially when you deal with a woman, because a woman ain't gonna come to you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come to them. Women want a guy to chase after them. They want us to, run after them. They don't want to run after the guy. So that's just the main thing. I would just want to know, like, what was the capacity of where you felt like you just couldn't do it. So that's just my thing on that, man. But that wraps it up, man. You ready to get into this game, man?
Let's get it.
All right. It's we might as well go ahead and get the what to look at.
So
right. Yeah. So I get started. Well, I go explain you the rules while you up, man. Okay, you got I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, and the ones you get right, I take a shot. The ones you get wrong, you take a shot. And it's simple as that. Hey, bring the bottle over here.
On my fault.
Yeah, you just leave it right there. Yeah. Leave it right there. Pour it up.
I said I just pour it into this cup.
Yeah, and this is how we do it like that, man. I guess so. We're coming from already. Let's go. Alright, let's go. How many black quarterbacks has won the Super Bowl? A, 3, B, 4.
I'm gonna say 4.
And what shit up, nigga? Pour that motherfucker up, nigga. Go ahead. Alright, you ready?
Let's get it.
Alright, what was Kevin Hart's first comedy album? A, I'm a Grown Little Man. B, Seriously Funny.
Seriously Funny.
And it's I'm a Grown Little Man. I'm a Grown Little Man came out a year before that one.
Seriously Funny came out first.
Seriously Funny was the one that kind of took him to where he became popular a little bit. That was just like his popular one, but his first one was that. I think the first one was around the time he was in a scary movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
Go ahead, nigga. Go ahead. Pour that motherfucking shot, nigga. I'm gonna get your. I gotta redeem myself from last week. I ain't watched the episode. I got beat 4 times. So I gotta get some make sure this nigga don't get none of them right. You know what I'm saying? He might get one. He might get one. He might get some one of these motherfuckers. But let's see. Okay, what album did Ludacris win a Grammy for? A, Word on Mouth. B, Release Therapy.
Word of Mouth can't be like one of his first ones. Release Therapy.
Okay, you got that right. Release Therapy. Release Therapy. That was just one of his most serious albums.
While you're playing, I just started back listening to some more Ludacris.
Oh, you did?
Put some of the Real Like This shit
Put some Real Like This shit in what?
In my playlist.
Oh, you did?
So I forgot how good that album was. I was like, hold on, this shit got some bops to it.
Oh, you started listening to it because we finna do the top 25 rapper list. Oh, you listen to it?
Nah, I think I just heard like a random song and I was just like, hey, Luda had some bops back in the day.
We just talking about Luda on the last episode with my boy Swain. We were talking about Ludacris, man, how he just so underrated. Like, all those albums, he got a lot, his catalog is deep.
It really is.
Like, real shit. He got a real good catalog, very underrated. People look at his visuals and shit, and that be the thing.
Right.
But okay, what film grossed more? A, Get Rich or Die Trying. B, 8 Mile.
That's hard. Because I don't pay attention to the statistics like that. Damn.
You just gotta go by what you think.
Get Rich or Die Trying or 8 Mile?
Yeah.
Shit. Let's see. I'll say Get Rich or Die Trying.
And 8 Mile.
Damn.
You know, it's crazy. It's always, I knew that answer would get tricky because it's 50 and it's Eminem. But Eminem, it feels like Get Rich or Die Trying was kind of more like out there-ish a little bit. You know, 8 Mile was slick, underrated a little bit. It was more like, okay, it's out there. But Get Rich or Die Trying was like the movie that people really paid attention to because that's when you saw 50 Cent got shot 9 times. He still survived that motherfucker. But
that makes me feel different.
Yeah, for real. For real. Okay. Which video game franchise sold more? A, Street Fighter V. B, Tekken 6.
Street Fighter 5.
Okay, he got that
right. I was about to say, we don't talk about no Tekken 6. But Street Fighter 5 still out here making money.
Hold on, let me make sure. Right? No, actually, that's wrong. It's Tekken 6.
Hold up.
That's wrong. Look it up. I think I was just looking at that damn question, actually.
Hold up.
Look at that. Hold up. What they say?
For reference, Tekken 6 sold 3.5 million over the course of roughly a year and a half. In comparison, Street Fighter 5 sold 1.7 million copies as of June across PC. God damn. Wait. However, it was supposed to hit 2 million at the end of March 2016.
So it's still less.
Fuck.
Still less.
I don't never hear nobody talking about Tekken 6.
That's the thing. I don't either.
But I always hear about somebody acting up in Street Fighter 5. But I feel like you had like people who casually played Tekken 6, but all the hardcore competitive people went over to Street Fighter 5. Yeah. Because they knew they could, like, if you was hyper competitive, you could find a lot more hyper competitive people like that.
Right. That is true. That is true, man. Go ahead, man. I thought he had it right, so I was like, nah, it's motherfucking Tekken 6.
I thought I had
Tekken 6, man. You know, I was going to throw in the question with more to come at, but I knew more to come at was going to always people just go.
But you already know people going to fiend for some more Kombat.
Yes,
that's why they got a
that's the thing that's kind of more popular. Like, everybody know about Mortal Kombat. They got movies with Mortal Kombat in it. Is it a movie with Tekken and Street Fighter, really? It's like famous enough?
Famous? No.
Yo.
But
it's like kind of undercover a little bit.
I feel like they made a Street Fighter movie. Let me see.
Yeah,
Hold up.
Oh, they did make a Street Fighter movie. They did. A little bit. They did. I remember. I seen it a long time ago. I seen it. Yeah.
Yep, 1994.
But now it's one after that. We
But I know they made a. Surprisingly, I know they made a Dead or Alive movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I seen that thing like probably 2-3 times. Mainly because it was like in the 2000s when they made it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mortal Kombat movies.
Right.
Ain't it?
Right.
They'll make them and they just do not hit like how they supposed to hit.
They don't. I ain't gonna lie. That one was alright. It was straight.
What, the most recent?
Mm-hmm. It was alright.
The movie?
Hold up, you talking about the one? Hold up, that one was okay.
The movie on HBO Max?
I think so.
And I watched it and I was so excited for it. And then I saw what they did with like the powers of them all. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, that's like an awakenability. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit? I was like, turn this up. I got to watch it with, I think me and Jeron watched it at the same time.
Right.
It was me and who was both just like, nah. And that most hyped up fight that we wanted to see was Scorpion versus Sub-Zero.
Right.
And it was not, it somewhat delivered, but at the same time, it didn't deliver how we wanted it to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where people found issue with it.
Mm. Didn't even know that. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's it, man, for another episode of Put You On Game. I got my boy up here, man. I appreciate you coming out, man, showing love to this podcast, man. Where can we find you with your social media account?
Shoot, let me look in up. I'm about to say you can find mainly only on Instagram at, let's see.
I feel like it's simple.
King J 1901.
All right, there you go. We have it. I mean, there you have it, goddamn. And we out. All right, Jeron, that's it, man. That is it.